Hi, everyone. I'll start my speech today by saying that I'll bet my bull market bag on saying that one of you is building a community, at least one of you is a part of a community, and one of you is desperately trying to manage the community to get their engagement up. Well, the truth is, the average engagement rate on Twitter is below 1%. It is somewhere between 0.035%, and if you're lucky, if you're a top tier 1 CoinMarketCap 50 project, you're somewhere between 2.5% to 4.9%. So what do we do? On crypto Twitter, around 500 million tweets every day end up being posted. That makes projects pretty desperate to get across to their people. So what do? They buy fake followers, they get the bots, and they get the shillers. Sadly, that doesn't work. If you do not have the community, you cannot sell your token, because your followers does not equal your community. We did this study, and around 81% of the token sale in 2023 came from the community. Why is that? Generally, three things. People buy the tokens from those they trust. People don't want to buy the tokens from small projects unless you have around 100, 150,000. On Twitter, they do not trust you. They do not see you as credible. And last but not least, they want to have a sense of familiarity. They constantly want to get those regular updates from you. They want to feel like they know you. Well, the thing is, top 20 exchanges seem to agree with our findings. We analyzed the obligations that top players in the field put for the project to get listed. And one of the minimum bare requirements is to actually have 100K on Twitter with the minimum engagement rate of 2.5%. Why do exchanges need your community? Well, a strong community brings more trading volume and liquidity to the exchange, so they don't have to do it on their own. A strong community also means that the project will survive during any market cycle, whether we are bearish or bullish. And strong community also means that the exchange doesn't need to hustle to bring their own people to buy your token. We did the research as a part of LKI Consulting, an award-winning Web3 marketing agency. Up to date, we've grown 172 Web3 communities to different numbers from 0 up to 500K with our latest case study. And I talk about this from my personal experience. I'm the CEO of LKI Consulting. My name is Maryna. I've been in Web3 for over 5 years now. I've also managed one of the biggest Lithuanian startups, up to 100 mil valuation, and then I moved to the decentralized world. I'm scaling startups with marketing budgets between 1 million to 60 million, and of course, I talk around the world about the power of crypto. Today, we're talking about 5 growth hacks to replace shillers with. Number 1, you need to focus on branding, not just marketing. In 2023 alone, over 600 million was lost in scam. In other words, your project is another scam in the eye of the community until you do the work and you build the trust. How do you do that? There are 3 steps to it. Number 1 is consistency. Very simple. You do what you say you're gonna do. You do not reschedule AMAs without a good reason. You do not lie about your roadmap. You get listed within the timeline that you say you're going to be listed. Consistency and transparency lead the game. Number 2 is social proof. You gain the trust by constantly getting endorsement from the communities that are already trusted. You can get it in 2 ways. Number 1 is through key opinion leaders, and number 2 is through projects who you partner with who already have a more established reputation to yours. And our 3rd step is co-marketing. It is much easier to tap into the audience that already is built, the community that is similar but not directly competitive to yours. So you run co-marketing campaigns, either as Quest that we're going to discuss, immersive partnerships, or any other formats you pick. This is a very good example from the industry that I love. If you don't know Slurf, it's a meme coin. What happened? One of their people in the founding teams accidentally burned 10 million through the liquidity pool and tokens. The Web3 world was complaining that it was a rug pull, it was a scam, but the founding team went ahead, they organized an AMA, they also launched a donation pool for all the victims to get refunded. The post got over 4 million views, 10K likes, 5.5K retweets, And what we saw in a week, the token pumped over 20 times. Why did that happen? Because they did exactly what they promised to do. They returned the money to the people. They were honest. They were transparent. They got the KOs on board to push the message, and it worked. I think it's very important to learn not just from the big wins, but also from the big losses. Our growth hack number 2 is KL round is a mess. Why are so many people getting key opinion leaders to invest in the cap table? Because your marketing budget immediately goes down. KL expense is usually one of the biggest one in the industry and among your whole marketing strategy. And when you build the army of creators who is out there trying to support your project, you're much more likely to succeed. Reason number 2, you're attracting creators who have the incentive to back your project. When you're doing those one-off deals, it doesn't really matter. But when you have ambassadors who are consistently pushing the project, you're much more better off. And last but not least, you're tapping into the audience who is genuinely into crypto. People who are following consistently different content creators have a much deeper level of awareness about the blockchain. Number 3 is quest your way to 100K. People love gamification. This is one of the trends that has been around since 2022, and it doesn't seem to leave the Web3 space. My tip for you is do not focus on just one Quest platform. There are many wonderful ways to do it. Quest and Galaxy, Zilli, Interact, Tascon, basically you name it. You need to mix and match different rewards between stablecoin, NFT, your own token. If you do not have your token, it is not a reason to waste a lot of money on cash rewards. You can implement what we call a points-based system, where people are competing for the points that are later on the TGA day get converted one-to-one to your token. So there are many ways how you can overcome a limitation of having a small marketing budget, but still gamify the marketing experience for your users. This is one of our clients, Razor's a no-token crypto launchpad, and we did a big case study with them. The joint campaign with Playbucks, who is currently listed on 6 Tier 1 exchanges. What we learned from that campaign? 30,000 people participated. 23,000 people completed basic tasks like join the Discord, Telegram, social media, and so on. People who engage in a 1.5-month-long gamification quest are also very likely to get the token. When we launched on the launchpad, Playbucks token got sold under 30 seconds. So the gamification that involves both on-chain and off-chain activities really increases the commitment that people have to your token. What are my 3 tips for you to increase engagement in the quest? Number 1 is get creative tasks going. Number 2, push it through the KLs. And number 3, do it with a partner. This is another case study from one of a great client of ours, Mintrust, is a lending protocol based out of here in Estonia. Every time we run a creative campaign with them, we include the tasks that are focused on the user-generated content. We ask people to create emoji packs, stickers, to do a meme or to write a tweet about Mintrust. Why it works? It is not only about the marketing mechanics, it is also about the psychological connection that we build and the relationship that we establish between people. They love getting shout-outs, they love getting highlighted in the community, and that has been one of the key mechanics in our success. Number 2, promote campaigns through the KLs. We've talked about it already. You get the exposure, you get the traffic, you get the one-time push that you need. Number 3, host quests with industry partners. If you're just starting out, you will not have a big community on either of the quest platforms. That is why you need to partner with someone who does, so you can cross-exchange their audiences. Let's talk about the growth hack number 4. Create a multi-role ambassadorship program. KLs are great. They give us the exposure, the traffic, and the push. But what do we do day to day instead of burning those big influencer budgets? We get people from inside of the community to be our representatives, to be our ambassadors. Ambassadorship program can work in many different ways, but generally I suggest dividing it into 4. Number 1, get ambassadors who are working for you on the content side. Number 2 is business development, those who are barely connected in the industry who can introduce you to different partners. And number 3 is your community moderators, those who can answer the messages from the community and work hand in hand with your official community managers. Why it works? You give people early perks, you invite them to networking, you invite them to make some of the decisions with the team, and they work as your undercover agents. Anyone who is directly associated with the project will be trusted a bit less than the voice that is coming directly from the community. Let's look at the case study. We're talking a lot about the token, about engagement on Twitter, but how does it also translate into business metrics? Etherfi is a restaking protocol, and they've been struggling to get their TVL up. In 1 month, they increased their TVL up to 300 million, and also went 5x in their engagement. What did they do? They implemented an ambassadorship program, and they got over 150 people in 1 month to share their project among different Discord and Telegram communities and produce massive amount of user-generated content. There was no other marketing push. All of this was done directly through ambassadors. Last one, gamify your community growth. I'm not going to stop again on the power of gaming narrative and this mechanic for your users. Let's directly talk about the amplification of Discord roles. People have been going crazy about having multiple Discord roles within the same community. You keep your community engaged by assigning them unique roles and put them into the leaderboard that they can climb. The more tasks they complete, the higher their rewards get, and the more roles they can obtain by doing so. But the trick is you do not assign the role forever. You only leave it for a month, for 2 months, as long as your team can handle it, and then people have to consistently maintain their engagement so they can remain at the same role. What are some potential rewards? We can do an airdrop, you can give them early access to features, to close beta. This is up to you to decide. What are some examples? We implemented it already with Mintrest. Mintrest is getting a special role for the NFT holders to get the boost. And another example from the industry is Mesa. Mesa has done one of the biggest airdrops of 2024. And they also launched the Discord role amplification. What was the result for the airdrop? 20% of the whole Discord server participated, and 20% was also participating in the Discord role amplification. 1/5 of their whole community wanted to get the roles. That brings me to the end of the speech. The 5 growth hacks that we talked about were build a brand, include KL's round, quest your way to 100K, onboard the ambassadors, and gamify your growth. Well, I'll give you a few seconds to take a shot of the slide. If you want to go viral, if you have any questions on the Web3 marketing, I'll be happy to connect with you on LinkedIn or Telegram. You can catch me in the audience. We still have around 2 minutes left in the speech, so I'll be happy to answer any questions you have. Thank you for your attention. Please.
So one of the things that we really struggle with is how do we balance like marketing KOLs with genuine like creation of value, and is there like a disconnect there? Because I think there's certain ethical and like sustainability questions that can be asked with, for example, like gamifying engagement. And so obviously you have way more experience with this than us. What do you see there, and is there a half-life on that?
I think one of the best ways to balance here is to get real ambassadors. This is not about hiring people who pretend they like you, but actually working with your team, creating a dedicated channel on Discord, on Telegram, about that you can call VIP, project name, where you sit down and you talk to 20, 10 people, depending on the size of your community, who you really like. You give them the alpha, and you create a 2-way communication channel in your community. So once you start treating your community as people, not just numbers, you give them extra insights, you give them information about the project, and you let them be the voice of that information to be shared. You seed organic engagement. It takes 5 real people talking in the community for other 50 to start talking back to them. And then you hire KOLs, you get other more mass tactics to bring the traffic. So that's how you balance. Thank you for your attention, guys, and have an amazing end of conference.